Notaries. Christian here with a quick question for you. So, a lot of you have been a notary for a decade. Maybe some of you have been a notary for much longer than that, maybe 2 decades. Um, Question, and I hope that you guys don't get upset at this question. I know some of you have been conditioned to believe that loan signing is the absolute best thing that you could do as a notary. It depends. It can be if you do it right, but most of you are doing it wrong. Most of you. I had somebody call me not too long ago, and they were like, "Hey, so why don't you do loan signings?" And I said, "Well, for me, they're just not lucrative enough. I could make double in an hour doing regular signings than I would doing a loan signing, and triple if it's through a loan signing company." Um, so she was just so pressed by that concept. That concept was so ludicrous to her. Like, what? What do you mean? That's impossible. Blah blah blah. And this is a question. Why is it that notary loan signing fees have stayed the same? My sister. I grew up around real estate. My sister she's a broker. She's been a broker for going on 2 decades. My mom has been a real estate agent since 1996. So we're baffled at the fact that the fees for loan signing have stayed the same. They've been $200 since I remember my mom telling me. She said, as soon as you turn 18, you got to become a notary because it's $200 a signing. This was back in like 2004. I mean, what, 16 years ago? 4 more years. We're talking about 20 years ago, and the fees are the same. Like, are we really not seeing the pricing of everything almost double since then? Like, maybe not double, but we've seen it go up dramatically, and yet these fees have stayed the same. But to make things worse, we have loan signing companies in the equation that are taking half the pie. So now you went from dealing directly with title and escrow, which was so much easier 20 years ago, dealing directly with them, getting $200, to 20 years later, you're having to compete with all these loan signing companies, which, by the way, a lot of them are like related to escrow officers. They just do a little LLC on the side and start collecting their cash, because they refer all the files over to the loan signing company, which then just goes down the list of notaries and collects half the pie. Anyways, that's a separate conversation. But the question is, why are the fees the same? Like, why haven't they gone up to 250, 300? I've seen some notaries charge 300, 350, 250. But in my opinion, honestly, I'm not really making money off of a loan signing. It's not really worth my while unless I'm charging 250 and up. I think the 250 and up, it's like, okay, finally I'm getting what I deserve, right? So then, bottom line, you probably shouldn't be settling for 100. But yeah, that's just a question. Like, why do you guys think that it's stayed at 200? Like, why is that the flat fee? When if they were to take those same escrow docs to a UPS store or a postal annex, they would be paying, like, let's say it's 2 signers and you notarize even just 6 signatures per, let's see, that'd be 12 times 15. Let's just do the math real quick. 12 times 15. Yes, I pulled out a calculator. All right, that would be 180, right? That would be 180 just based on signatures. Now, you travel to them. That should be at least a $35 fee. It's $215 plus you printed like 300 pages. If you charge it at 20 cents, 20 by 300, we're talking about like $275. So yeah, I think 250 and up is like the norm. I think that should be the new norm. 250. I don't think we should stay at 200. And I've seen some people charge 175, and I've seen like the escrow like companies that like kind of like try and keep it lower, like 200. That's a little bit too much for my client, but I think that 250 should be the norm. That's what I think. So why do you guys think that it stayed at 200? Please go ahead, leave a comment below. I'd like to see what you guys think. I think 200 is the norm, but I think 250 should be the norm. In all honesty, I think 300 should be the norm, but I think 250 should be the minimum. All right, you guys have a good night. Looking forward to your responses.